What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cordell the Jurassic Waits. Today is Monday, August 2nd, 2021, and I'm here to give you guys my personal update on the top draft classes in each decade going back to the 80s. Like I said, this is the last 40 years upon excellence in the NBA, and we're just going to go over, like a top list recommended players that was part of that draft and either starting lineups from each year's class that I felt should be in there. So just going back in the 80s, there's a lot of controversy upon certain draft classes, but we know consensus have the 1984 draft as the best draft class out. So a couple names in that draft. We had Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, John Stockton, some of the great names of that draft. So right there, you could build a team right there off of that. You also had Kevin Willis and Sam Perkins. So me personally, if I was around a basic starting five out of those players that was involved in that draft, you also had Alvin Robinson in that draft as well. So I would probably go at center, Hakeem Olajuwon, power forward. Um, you probably could go big smooth, Sam Perkins. If he was to go big like that, then I would go Charles Barkley at small forward. Um, at the two, of course, Jordan, and at the one, John Stockton. But if you was to go to switch up the lineup, then you will go Hakeem at the center, Charles Barkley at power forward, Alvin Robinson at small forward, Michael Jordan shooting guard, John Stockton right there at point guard. So that was a 1984 team, the best team in the 80s. Going to the next draft class, which was the best draft class in that decade in the 90s. It was going to be the 1996 NBA draft. And we all know we had great Hall of Famers in that draft as well. But a couple of honorable mention names in that draft class. You had guys like Ray Allen. Um, you had Kobe Bryant. You had Steve Nash, Allen Iverson. So these were just a couple of the names that was off in that draft class. So if I was to go a starting lineup, I would probably go Marcus Camby at center, Jermaine O'Neal at power forward. Then I would go Kobe Bryant um, at small forward. You got Allen Iverson at shooting guard, and you also have Steve Nash at point guard. And it was also other couple of great players that was in that draft as well. Guys such as Ray Allen, who was in that draft. So, guys, don't get it confused. That was a great draft right there. Even guys like Stephon Marbury and stuff like that. Um, Going out to 2003, which I believe that draft class was outstanding. You had a couple names on there like LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. So those are just a couple of mentionable names. But for me, just looking at it, if I was to run a starting lineup from that particular roster, um, yeah, you have some good pieces, some good players to put together. But I would go Chris Bosh at center, David West at power forward, um, Carmelo Anthony at a small forward, Dwayne Wade at shooting guard, and LeBron James at the point guard. Like I said, this was a great deep draft. You had other guys like Boris Diaw in the draft, Josh Howard, Kendrick Perkins, uh, Barbosa was in this draft. You also had Mo Williams. So this was and Kyle Korver. So this was a great draft as well. And going out to uh, 20 in the 2010s, what draft class was the best? And me just going over it. I believe that the 2001 NBA draft was definitely the best class that year. You had guys like Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler in this draft, um, as well as Kawhi Leonard. So this was um, a great draft. Um, Going over some of the names, if I was to have a starting lineup just from this roster, I would go with Nikola Vucic at center. Um, I would go. You guys got Jimmy Butler. You go Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson, and Kyrie, and right there it just seals it up. But this draft, when I went back and looked at it, you had Isaiah Thomas in this draft. You had Chandler Parsons in this draft. You had Bojan Bojanovic in this draft. You had, like I said, um, Reggie Jackson. I mean, Tobias Harris, Amon Shepard, Markeith Morris, both the Morris brothers, Alex Burke. I mean, Jimmer was in the draft. Kimball Walker was in the draft, guys. Brandon Knight, Bismack Biyombo, Valanciunas, Andres Canner. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, 2011, deep. It's your boy, Cordell Drastic Waits, giving you guys a sports update of the decade's top NBA draft classes. Thank you, and have a great day.